NFT gaming experience. Thank you everybody for joining. I will be announcing new scholars today. Who is ready to become the next Canabros NFT gaming scholar?
I don't fear nobody, man. That's why Javante, let's get it on. I wanted to let him. I don't want to say that name again.
Idea of what you should be looking for when buying horses, because they are quite expensive, so you want to try and get the best bang for your buck when you are buying them. Now, I will have a document that we'll take a look at in a little bit as well, where I took a look at 120 horses that had raced to see their win rates and what breed they were and stats and stuff. That gives you a little bit of a better idea of how these things impact things, and that, obviously means we have a better idea of which horses to buy. And just keep in mind as well, this is taking into consideration the current state of the game, where it's the 2D racer, where it's all RNG, you as a player have no impact on the race itself. Once the 3D version of the game comes out, where you actually get to play the horse, and you as a player have some skill impact on the horse's race, whether it wins or loses, then these stats, the bloodline, the rarity, these might start having a much bigger impact. So it's just one thing to keep in the back of your mind too. So when we first take a look at the marketplace, you're going to see multiple things. You'll see this here, which is the bloodline. And there's going to be 4 different bloodlines. There's going to be this Hoz, Capania, there's going to be Clin, and Zan. I've completely butchered that. That's completely fine though. Hoz being the rarest and Zan being the lower rare. And the way breeding bloodlines works is the weaker bloodline will be the dominant one. So if you were to breed a Hoz and a Zan together, then the baby will always be a Zan. But if you were to breed 2 Hozes together, then the baby will be a Hoz. So do keep that in mind as well if you are looking to breed. The next major thing is going to be over here, and it's going to be the breed type, which I class as rarity. And there's going to be 5 of these. You're going to have Founding, Legendary, Epic, Rare, and Pacer. Founding being the rarest, and Pacer being the least rare. With this though, you can't breed 2 Foundings together and make a Founding child. Instead, it'll always be 1 step below the lowest rarity breed. So if you have 2 Foundings, it'll always be a Legendary. And if you had a Legendary and a Rare, it would always be a Pacer, because Rare is the lowest rarity in this breed, and it's going to be 1 step below that. You will also have gender, but this is just a straight 50-50 chance. There'll be a 50% chance of a male or female when you make a child. And there will be items that they're looking to add later down the line that will change this. But as far as I know, the male or female doesn't impact the win rate of the horse. So when taking a look at a horse, when you click on one, you're going to see quite a few things. First of all, we're going to see the bloodline again, we're going to see the rarity, the gender. So once again, these are quite important if you're looking to breed. We're also going to see the stamina the horse currently has. So it has 25 out of 25. And that's going to be important if you want to race straight away. But if it's got low stamina or none, you're basically just having to wait a day for that to regen and you can go again. Then we're going to have 6 different stats here. We'll have speed, strength, lightning, wind, water, and fire. And these are going to have an impact on the horse on the race course. Some of these stats will change, well, the stats won't change, but how effective they are will change based on the map itself. If a map has high wind, then your win percent is going to come in more useful. We're also going to have the breed. So this means it's been bred 0 out of 7 times. Every time you breed a horse, it costs more and more of the vis to breed it higher. So if you are looking to breed, you definitely want to grab one that's 0 out of 7, or if it's a really, really good horse, you know, good bloodline, good rarity. Maybe you could settle for like a 1 of 7, but you don't really want to be going any higher than that if you are looking to breed. We'll also have win rates. So this horse has never raced before, so it has 0 win rate. And then career, you're going to have 3 numbers here. You'll have wins, losses, and total races. A win is classed as coming first, second, or third, so do keep that in mind too. We also have class, but every single horse right now is class 1. You will also notice these 2 boxes here. This means this horse has recently been bred, has been either bred or created. If it's recently been created, it won't be able to race or breed for an X amount of time. This does change a little bit based on bloodline as well for how long it can race. And if it's just been bred, then it won't be able to breed again for X amount of time as well. So if you are seeing these boxes, it means if you buy this horse, you're not going to be able to use it in breeding or racing for now nearly 3 days. And finally, horses are bought in either USDT or PGX. This is set by the seller. You're not able to change what you buy it in. So if this is USDT, you'll need to make sure you do have USDT to be able to buy it. There is also colorings on the horse as well, but I don't believe these have any kind of impact on the horse's performance. I think it's more of just a visual thing. So let's talk about what you should be thinking about when you're going to buy a horse. Well, first of all, we need to think about the ROI. That's going to be the more important thing if you're investing in these horses, right? So this horse in particular has a 22% win rate. It's raced quite a lot. It's had 545 races. So this 22% isn't going to change too much because of how much it's raced. It's really averaged out at this point. So if we were to look at current prices, this would cost $1,745. If you're winning 22% of your races a day, then you're winning around 4 to 5 races. And normally I work them out to be about 44 vis average per race, because third place is 26, second place is 44, and first place is 100. So it should be averaging around that second place mark. So if we were to throw that into a calculator, 5 times 44 would give you 220 vis per day. And then times that by the current price of vis, that would give us around $26 per day. So after a month, this horse would be making you around $700 and something. After 2 months, like 1,500-ish. So it would take over 2 months to get you your ROI back, assuming prices remain the same. The other thing to think about as well is the breed count. This horse in particular has already been bred 3 out of 7 times. So if you were to breed it again, the vis cost for this particular breed is going to start being quite expensive. So you're not really going to want to really breed this horse. I mean, depends on prices and what you're breeding it with. Might bring down the price a little bit. You could always throw it up as well for, you know, higher, so someone can pay you to breed it as well. Might make a little bit of money from that. But in general, you're not going to be making any money really back from breeding this horse, which is quite an important thing to think about as well, because if you already have a horse or you can rent this out and it's a 0 of 7 breed count, then you can be making a good chunk of money back from just breeding it. I mean, right now it costs around like, I think $500 to get enough vis and PGX to breed a horse. Obviously you need 2 horses to do that. But if you were to sell it, then you would be making around $1,200 profit. Once again, you got to keep in mind that that's 2 different horses, but that would be $600 roughly off your ROI. So then you only need to make another 1.2k-ish to hit your ROI on this horse. And that's only breeding it once as well. If it was then a 1 of 7, you can make a little bit more, 2 of 7, make a little bit more, and so forth. And then you're slowly chipping away at that ROI. But what do you do if a horse has a 0% win rate, has never been raced before? How do you know if it's going to be a good or bad horse? Well, that's where the sheet would come in to help you a little bit. But unfortunately, there is no concrete answer. Obviously, this sheet only has 120 horses on it, so I would definitely recommend making a copy and progressively adding your own data just so you have a more concrete answer. But yeah, from what I've got here, there isn't a solid, like, if you have this horse with this bloodline, with this rarity, it's going to be good. It just seems to have a better chance of being good. So if we were to take a look here at one of the better setups, so this is the second best bloodline with the best rarity, you can see that it does have a top end of a 69% win rate. Top stats, you know, total stats of 40 as well. So it shows that, you know, total stats have some kind of impact here. But then if we look at this one here, right, this is a 31 starter.
Subscribing.
And it only has a best bloodline and best rarity. So there's no kind of consistent answer. You'd think by looking at this, it would.
What's up, Claros? Thank you for sharing the stream.
Rarity. Only has 26 stats though, and comes in at a 50-ish% win rate. So we're not seeing anything here that's beating out the Companions, but we don't have anything that has the same stats. Maybe if this had 40 stats, its win rate could potentially be a lot higher. Second one here, 11 stats, still has a 45% win rate. It definitely does seem like the bloodline and the rarity have more weighting over the stats. There's definitely some horses with really high stats that end up low, and some with high stats that end up high, and, you know, low stats that end up high too. But the reverse is true as well, right? Like we have best bloodline, best rarity, and still a lower end win rate. Although right here though, if you add one that is best bloodline, best rarity, the lowest one we have here is 34%. Now obviously we only have 4 horses worth of data here, but at least it's showing they're consistently kind of high. If we were to move on to take a look at the weaker bloodlines but the higher rarity, you're going to see the top end still pretty high, right? Like still very high percent win rate potential here, 42.4, and the low end hitting 15. So once again, even if you have the best rarity, weak bloodline, there's still a chance of it being a weak horse. And if we take a look at the weakest bloodline, we have a top end of 25.6%. So there's definitely some significance here with the bloodline. The best Zan we could get with Founding was 25.6, while the best, you know, Haas, etc. was much higher percent win rate. And then once again, a lower end of that 15%. So what does this actually all mean? It means there's no concrete answer. It means that picking up a horse with high stats, best bloodline, best rarity isn't going to guarantee it's going to be good. What it does mean though is it is going to have a much better chance of being good. So you definitely want to be looking for that high bloodline, high rarity. But if there's like $1,000 difference between a Capona and a Haas with same rarity, very similar stats, then I would definitely go for the Capona, because that's just going to have a pretty good chance of being good, and there's no guarantee that the Haas is going to be good. Definitely be looking for those low bred though. That seems to be like one of the more important things to be going after, because it just means you can breed more horses to have more horses to race with or to sell them, and that's going to be giving you a good chunk of your ROI back. So I definitely would have that as the kind of focus in your mind, and then be looking at the bloodline next, and then the rarity, and then the total stats. But either way, hopefully this gives you a better idea to look for, and hopefully this sheet ends up useful to you. It did take a bit of time to put together, so check it out and give it a use if you feel like it will be useful for you picking up horses. Either way, look out for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya. So I'm taking a look at the marketplace to give you a better idea of what you should be looking for when buying horses, because they are quite expensive. So you want to try and get the best bang for your buck when you are buying them. Now I will have a document that we'll take a look at in a little bit as well. First, take a look at 124 horses to see their